Man, I'm chilling. I ain't bothering nobody. I'm just chilling. You know what I'm saying? I go shopping. I give me a mean leather jacket. I think I'm doing my thing. I'm like, on my own little planet. I ain't with nobody. It's always got to try to one up on me, right? Have one up on me. I get a banging leather jacket. This Busta get a leather line up.
If Busta ever try to front on me, hit you with no delay. So what you saying, yo? Shoulda with that 9 milli, what the devil, yo? Yeah, I do his better than him. He better not play with me. I will and perform Busta Rhymes show. Cause look, man, if they try to say that if you ever thought that the Busta Rhymes was better than me, you crazy. You crazy, man. You just looking at this the wrong way.
For years, the real story surrounding 50 Cent, Diddy, and Busta Rhymes didn't disappear. It was carefully managed. What the public saw were isolated moments, while deeper dynamics of power, loyalty, and influence shaped what remained unspoken. In this documentary, 50 Cent steps back from rumors to examine how proximity to figures like Diddy can determine who speaks, who stays quiet, and why. And as Busta Rhymes becomes the focal point of that restraint, the question shifts from controversy to control. Who decides when the truth is finally allowed into the record?
Busta Rhymes is a visual artist. It's always been that. When Busta don't look like Busta, because Busta neck getting big and Busta belly is sticking out.
Tell him to change too big. Whoa, man. Tell that nigga change too big. He ain't got no friends. They're not telling him.
Busta can't match up with 50. Is you crazy? Put that shit in front of me. Put that shit on the side. Put that shit behind me. Man, he's at a point where he just had a moment and everybody showing their appreciation for his run.
Big up to 50 Cent for bringing us out there with him on that final lap tour. Did the first show July 21st. My last show was November 21st. He's still on that same tour.
Yeah, man.
He don't play with that work. Ever since he first came to Violator and the first Get Rich or Die Trying came out, he was the only one that would jump on a plane like the shit was a cab. This is how he was from the beginning.
The documentary opens not with an accusation, but with a pattern. Fragments of clips, half sentences, and casual remarks drifting across platforms until they suddenly align. What once felt like background noise begins to point, quietly but unmistakably, toward Busta Rhymes at a moment when visibility itself becomes a liability. The context matters. This was not a single statement, but an accumulation, shaped by timing and repetition rather than intent. As the narrative consolidates, public perception hardens faster than verification, turning timelines into verdicts. In an attention economy where speed outruns scrutiny, the question becomes unavoidable. If perception moves faster than truth, how long does truth get to defend itself?
I got to ask you, there has been so much going on in the music industry and the headlines pertaining to Diddy. How closely are you paying attention to his case, the allegations, and the things that are coming forward with him?
I just kind of like to pay attention to the truth. When that time manifests, then, we'll speak about this, hopefully when that time comes. As far as I'm concerned, you know what I'm saying? But I wish the best for everyone involved. God bless everyone involved. And, I think that we should all kind of be a little more mindful of how much we speak on other things.
There was a period when alliances between artists like 50 Cent and Busta Rhymes felt unshakable shared stages, mutual respect, and the unspoken rule of protection in an industry that punishes vulnerability. The documentary situates this history as essential context, not nostalgia, because silence only carries weight when history precedes it. When controversy enters the frame, camaraderie gives way to distance, and loyalty becomes something carefully rationed. What looks like absence may actually be strategy, and when long-standing bonds fall quiet under pressure, the tension lingers. Is silence a betrayal or a survival instinct learned too well?
I seen you talking about Busta Rhymes before.
Oh, yeah.
In some of your videos.
Oh, yeah. Super zest monster. For sure, bro. That's my thing, bro. Like, this been common knowledge, though. Like, all my promoter homies would always say, man, we gotta bring some, we gotta bring some, what they call them, I'm not gonna say it over here. They call them, fun boys. They'll say, we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Cause I bodyguarded for Ghostface Killer before. You feel me? And being around him, you hear things. You feel me? I'm like, damn. And my auntie like the biggest Busta Rhymes fan. You feel me? Like every cookout she playing it. All his little fast rapping, all of that. Him and Craig Mack playing that, bro. On my soul, I'm out with a group of people. At this time, I was with Don Benjamin. You familiar with him?
No, never heard of him.
Model dude, like a model guy. He be doing like some rapping and stuff. His name Don Benjamin. I'm out with Don Benjamin, and the club we ended up going to, Busta Rhymes in there. So it was a little lawyer guy that was with us. And the little lawyer guy we was with, you know, he was a gay dude, super cool, feel me, good guy.
What unsettles the documentary is not the original remarks, but the machinery that reshaped them. A comment is clipped, a clip is circulated, and circulation itself becomes validation. In this ecosystem, conflict is rarely organic. It is refined, amplified, and monetized. Context erodes as narratives sharpen, because outrage travels farther than clarification ever could. The industry no longer waits for meaning, it waits for engagement. And when attention becomes the reward structure, a deeper question emerges in a system that profits from distortion. Who is incentivized to protect the truth?
Bro, Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad. Like, what? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope, and tucked him off in the corner. So I'm looking like, well, he ain't come with us. Well, I know he was in the little group. So if I go out with somebody, like a group of people, I try to make sure everybody get there together and leave together. No, he stayed with them. He stayed in there with them, bro. For sure, bro. You ain't never heard about this before, have you? Bro, this common knowledge, bro. Like, if you in the mix, bro. If you in the mix, like I've been in the mix, you know this, bro.
How long has it been like this known about Busta Rhymes?
Well, I knew about this like in 2012. I knew about this in 2012.
How can we think nobody else speaks up on it or says anything?
Because, bro, these people admire these people so much. They want to make sure they in the section, they at the club, they at the video shoot, they can get backstage. That matters most to them. That matters so much to people. It's crazy. Like, but if you notice, like, it's countless videos of Busta Rhymes getting mad at females for just being girls. This girl.
The documentary shifts into more volatile territory when jokes about identity and private life enter public discourse as entertainment. Historically, hip-hop has wrestled with masculinity as both armor and performance, often blurring critique with mockery. Here, the cost extends beyond reputation. Stigma compounds, spreading faster than facts and lasting longer than apologies. The narrative does not moralize. It interrogates whether cultural norms have evolved enough to recognize the damage caused by casual dehumanization. And when humor carries consequences that cannot be undone, the tension remains unresolved. At what point does content stop being commentary and become harm?
Touched him one time, he go crazy, throw a drink on her and everything. See what I'm saying? Like, what? Why you getting mad at females? You go to these guys, they in the club, go to their section. It's all men in the section. That ain't weird to nobody. I'm going to the bar, sorry. Text me if it get dangerous. But there's all this club security in here, like nothing's finna happen. Nobody wanna kill you guys, bro. Like, when I get jobs from people who really got a threat on their life, I move way different. Nobody wants to kill these entertainers like that, bro. Like when I do my threat assessment, there's never an immediate threat of danger. It's never a situation that they're gonna tell me, oh, this person wants to murder me, this person wants to bring harm on me. It's never like that. Them type of people be normal guys. So, I hear somebody say, oh, he's cute, I want him. So when I heard that, I turned around like, man, did he just say that? Man, you got all this jewelry to attract some men in here? You wild. Shocked me. But sure enough.
And that was the guy that Busta Rhymes pulled back?
He pulled him into the section. pulled him to the side, and then they walled him off like this man. I'm like, damn. And that little dude was so happy. He couldn't believe that. He was shocked. But man, you ask, bro, anybody that's in the mix, bro, like, you know, bro, most of these dudes, bro, putting on a major act. They don't want to be themselves.
It's crazy.
They'll get mad at you for buying bottles of champagne to give the girls. They'll get mad, oh, we don't want these bottle rats in our section. What are we here for? Why are y'all here then? What are y'all here for? Just because y'all got booked to be here, okay, but sometimes they not booked. They just in there. So, and what they looking for, it ain't gonna be what you thinking of. On God, seen it.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon, so hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.
Rather than denial or retreat, the documentary frames 50 Cent's response as tactical measured not in explanations, but in timing and impact. Humor becomes leverage, not deflection. Short, repeatable moments outperform long defenses in digital spaces, and control shifts to whoever commands replay value. This approach reflects an understanding of modern power. Once the audience laughs, the frame is already set. Yet, strategy carries responsibility. When humor functions as pressure rather than persuasion, the question sharpens: who decides when influence crosses into imbalance?
You know Busta Rhymes came out, telling people to mind their business when it comes to Diddy, right?
You gotta realize that Busta Rhymes and anybody in the industry could say what they wanna say and speak on what they wanna speak. They got a right to do that. Just like we got a right to. He can't tell nobody not to say this, not to say that, when he has the right to say what he wanna say. And I guess that's why people coming out on Busta Rhymes saying he's zesty now, because he made comments like that. But I've been around Busta. I know Busta Rhymes. I don't never know him for being like that. But I don't know what other people see, and I'm not gonna speak on that, because I don't care about that. See, a lot of people, if that's all he could give to the people, then that's all he's giving to the people. But not one time, did he speak on his relationship with Diddy? Has he been to the Diddy party? Has he been to the after party? Did he say, well, I've never been to an after party, so y'all gotta wait to speak on, y'all gotta wait to see what they talking about before y'all speak on something?
When Diddy enters the narrative, the tone changes, not because of statements made, but because of what his presence represents. He is framed less as an individual and more as a symbol of institutional power, long memory, and interconnected careers. Busta's call for restraint is read in multiple ways.
I could say I've never been to an after party. Have I been to the front door of the party? Yeah. Have I been to the after party? Nah, never.
Never been to the freak off, son. I mean, since I've been knowing you, you've been consistent about that. So, I believe you, man. But you heard about these reports that Diddy having a hard time selling his Hollywood home? It's not attracting any buyers?
It probably wouldn't attract any buyers until after, a lot of times when tragedies happen and people be in those type of places with the energy going, it would be around 5 years before they go up on market and resell. Like if somebody murdered in the house, you gotta realize they're not gonna go in there and somebody say, oh shit, I wanna be here, man. Motherfucker was murdered in here. You understand? Those houses may not go up to sell for like 5 years.
Right. And what's going on with Tony Busby? I seen you make a comment saying that he might drop his cases.
I think that's a misunderstanding. What I'm saying to you is that he's gonna go with the cases that he know right off the bat that Puff is really probably ready to settle out, because it's so strong and the evidence may be so strong against Puff that he don't want that to run through the public or let the public hear those things. As a lawyer, he's going to say, these cases are strong enough for me to get the quick grab money and go about my business. And then if he gets enough money off of that, he may not have to do the other cases. He may drop the other people. It depends. He's gonna go with his strongest cases.
By some as principled loyalty, by others as caution shaped by proximity to influence. The documentary avoids verdicts, focusing instead on patterns of protection within elite circles. And when power structures encourage silence as a form of stability, the unresolved tension remains. Is loyalty an act of courage or a calculation shaped by consequence?
$50. You know good and well that I woke up to this bullshit you done started this morning, and I was the one that was leaving everybody alone. So what you doing is giving niggas false narratives, homie. You talking about you just went to buy a leather jacket. You ain't bothering nobody. You left niggas alone. And I went and bought a leather fucking hairline. Well, let me tell you something, buddy. On some real G shit. Let me tell you something. You talking about that pimpin' curly that you was doing as a character? But no, you was doing pimpin' curly in real life too. Trying to look like Rico Suave or one of them niggas going down a red carpet at one of them movie shits that you was involved with. And I don't want you to use that as no excuse neither, talking about you was playing a character. You wasn't in character when you had to go down that red carpet. You could have got back to yourself, my nigga, but you chose to stay in character with that Rico Suave shit, some berries and sweet juices you had up in your head top, my nigga. Now, I do want you to know, I'm your brother, so I'm gonna always support you and everything you do. I ain't been doing nothing but that since the inception of our friendship. Violate up! Now, with that being said, I got one question to the masses. There's several products that you have to incorporate to get your shit to look like Rico 50. All right? Fuck Rico Suave. We talking about Rico 50. Let's see which one of the products that he used to get to looking like Rico 50. Was it this? Or was it this? Or was it this? Matter of fact, I think the real question is, did he blend all three of these shits to look like this? Chill. I got a grand prize for anyone that jumps in the comments, any consumer around the world that used to also use these products to help identify, doing a forensic deep dive and a research and a data analytics on those products to help us understand, was it a combined effort of all three, or was it a combined effort of two, or was it just one of them to get you to look like Rico 50? Now, with that being said, if you guess right what the blend was chemically for that motherfucking berry juice look for Rico 50, you might win a grand prize. Until then, just know, the blessings don't stop, so we gonna just keep this shit going as long as we need to. Because if the blessings don't stop, I don't motherfucking stop. And we don't stop. Dragon season, bitches. Yeah.
There is a moment the documentary isolates, the shift from amusement to discomfort. Jokes no longer land cleanly, and audiences begin reassessing their role as spectators. Moral language enters the conversation, and reputational risk becomes measurable. Brands hesitate, peers recalibrate, and association itself becomes a liability. Fame, in this context, offers no insulation. Judgment accelerates precisely because visibility is high. The discomfort reveals something deeper. When public opinion turns, is it driven by principle or by the instinct to distance before being implicated?
Orlando Brown.
Back. What's up, bro?
Back again.
Yes, sir.
Man, how you doing?
I'm good. I had fun Saturday. It was amazing. I can't remember anything, but it was amazing. I appreciate you for allowing me to sit back with you for a second time for the second interview, the second you guys say. Yeah, bro.
Okay, that's what's up. Well, What's going on with you?
Okay, so I just got this opportunity, Orlando's World, from what I understand. We're supposed to be doing some cool things. That was an opportunity given to me from you and Flossie. Definitely feel like it's a opportunity to do a 6-month situation before we do the Orlando Brown show, because a lot of people don't want me to do the show per se. There is a Hollywood couch that I have not been on. There is a Hollywood couch that a lot of people spin on and look forward to. Me personally, I haven't been looking forward to do that, but I'm definitely looking forward to do Orlando's World, the Orlando Brown show, after we see how I handle the podcast.
So we're doing a podcast. You're gonna have your own podcast on Cam Capone News. Me, you, Flossie. What can people expect?
Well, it's the mind of the producers that invited themselves into my life. You got Flossie, got you. You guys have given me some great ideas. You know, what about you and, Tekashi 6ix9ine going paintballing? What about you and, Jamie Foxx, just you know what I'm saying, just going doing whatever, just wine tasting or something. It's just it's a podcast, from what I understand, that will change the dynamic of podcasting, because everybody's sitting in their homes and they're getting an astronomical amount of Burger King money. If you work at Burger King, you can make this money sitting in your house if you have the right amount of material, or you have the right person sitting in front of your camera. So you can, anytime that person does well, you do well. Anytime you make some money, they make some money, but you make more. It's just a different situation.
Any response to 50? He jokes a lot online. He posted the picture, the video. What were your thoughts?
50's my brother. But 50 also know I'm not gonna stop. The same way he not gonna stop, I'm not gonna stop. We both come from a family called Violator family. So we ain't got no problem violating, number one. And number two, I think the most important thing about this back and forth with me and him is that people don't lose sight of how important it is to have a sense of humor and it not be some where your skin ain't tough enough to be able to keep it as fun and games. We grew up snapping on each other and joking with each other from elementary school to being grown men. And you did that with your friends. Now, if we wasn't friends, there wouldn't be no games to play. But we got love, and it's genuine love. So I can indulge in this and laugh. It's okay to have a sense of humor and not be emotional like bitches. You know what I'm saying? So 50, I'm coming for your ass, bruh. Be careful.
Legal updates arrive like punctuation marks, dismissals, narrowed claims, reframed headlines, often mistaken for conclusions. The documentary emphasizes a growing confusion between process and outcome, where procedural developments are consumed as moral resolutions. Law operates on thresholds and evidence, not emotional certainty, yet public discourse rarely waits for nuance.
You guys were doing the final lap tour. Busta Rhymes was opening up for you guys at one point.
Right.
The US part, I think, of the tour?
Yeah. No, he came to some of Europe.
Oh, some of Europe tour?
Yeah.
Okay. Busta's a legend, by the way.
Yes.
One of the greatest hip-hop performers,
of course, yes.
period. Him and Wyclef, I put
right.
near the very top
Right.
out of all performers.
Okay.
But recently, 50 and Busta were going, having a friendly back and
they
forth.
put the picture. Yeah. I've seen, that's...
And 50 put Busta cannot wear this to humor harmony.
Yeah, I mean, you know how 50 is, man. 50's crazy, man. It's all humor, man.
That outfit is horrible,
I seen Busta post something up? But you see, you know, 50's crazy. He could dish what he takes. So you fuck with him on who you think is the 5 people? Let's think of the 5 people I would never want to argue with on the internet. 50. Who would you say? Look, hold on. Let me give my 5. 50, Charleston White. Right?
I've argued with him before.
But he keeps going with Charleston White. Whack 100, you would say?
Okay.
Who else would you put there? I know 50, Charleston White, Whack 100. Who?
Kendrick Lamar.
I'm just, we talking about Instagram. I mean,
okay, Instagram. He's not an IG guy.
I'm just saying. You love Kendrick right now. You ain't fucking with Drake right now. Come on, we got to be able to go to Canada.
I'm fucking with Drake. I'm a Drake fan.
Nah, I felt like it was a good battle, man. It was
a great battle. Okay, so I see where you're going with this.
I'm
okay,
saying
50,
like
social media.
50, you don't want to fuck with 50 on there. He'll kill you on the gram. I said Charleston White. Because Charleston White.
The space between legality and accountability remains wide and often deliberately blurred. If legal complexity can be interpreted as exoneration, the documentary asks a quieter question. In an age of optics, where does responsibility actually begin?
He goes crazy. Whack 100. Because Whack 100 will put up your address and all kinds of
1090 Jake.
You think 1090?
He'll put out some paperwork on you didn't even know existed.
That's true too.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different thing. I'm just saying like
Boosie.
Yeah.
Boosie will go hard at you.
Yeah.
Because remember Boosie and Young Blue were going at it.
Boosie.
And then, unfortunately, Boosie's my man, but I don't agree. He basically pointed out that Young Blue's child, I think, was autistic, and he kind of took a shot at that.
I like Young Blue, Boosie. I like both of them. I try to stay out of it. Hopefully they can work it out, you know?
Yeah.
They both got a lot of money. I kind of stay out of, their issues, but, and Fifth fuck with Blue hard, and, niggas fuck with Boosie hard, but, how it's the industry. You just stay out the way. You stay out of people's beef. When I got beef, I don't expect nobody to jump in anything for me.
Yeah, me too.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah. But you know how the industry is. You have to choose a side.
Unfortunately.
Right.
And trying to be neutral sometimes gets you messed up on both sides.
Right.
Both people stop fucking with you by being neutral.
Yeah, right. And people could look at it a certain way. That's like what you were saying with the game thing. Like, game at the show, that might have been good, but...
By the final segment, the documentary reframes the entire conflict, not as a clash of personalities, but as a case study in systems. Power networks, strategic silence, curated outrage, and selective memory intersect to shape what the public sees and what remains obscured. Hip-hop emerges not just as culture, but as governance, where influence operates informally, yet decisively. The story closes without resolution, only tension. Everyone claims to want transparency, yet transparency threatens stability. And if telling the full truth carries professional consequences, who is ever positioned to tell it at all?